Welcome to my tarot card reading for September 2015. And this is Manu Tarot. Remember, this is a general reading. I repeat myself. General reading for worldwide social, financial, and economic events, performance, or whatever verb or adjective you want to use. Okay, this is a general reading. We have here the Sun, we have Oshun, we have Shango. Notice that Oshun is in between two upside down cards. It's like she's trapped. She's the Orisha that represents money. And there is a Pataki that resonates with the rest of the reading and what we have here. And there was there's a story where she is in a really bad financial economic situation, to the point that she didn't have practically anything else to wear, just one dress, and that dress, those that know the story, eventually turned yellow. I'm not gonna say why it turned yellow, but the point is that she didn't have anything else to wear, and it was white and it turned yellow. On that path of Oshun, she hates yellow because it reminds her of her time when she was financially and economically devastated and not performing that great. The Sun that represents for me the Trimurti, Shiva, things are coming to an end. And then Shango, more or less the same. In some houses in Santeria, Shango and Oshun, they don't get along. Therefore, we're here talking about an energy that it is chaotic by nature. Is letting us know that financially and economically there are things that are going to come to an end. So what we're saying is that the opening is giving us a warning that for September we might see an end to what looked like a great performance, economic and financial performance from many countries. And if you read what is going on around the world, especially what many economists are starting to say, then you realize what I'm talking about. Okay? We have here the world, Capricorn, Aquarius, Saturn, Libra, with the Prince of Cups, Pisces, Chariot, Neptune, Venus. For me, the world represents things are coming to an end, the end of a chapter. Okay? Saturn could means that we're going to have a reality check, but at the same time is binding, is very limiting by nature, Saturn. And then we have Capricorn, Aquarius, Libra. So we're talking about here there is going to be a readjustment, and we have to remember that by this time Saturn is going to be in Scorpio. Okay, so we're talking about changes, readjustment. Okay, so things are going to come to an end. In a positive way, it means that many politicians, many governors, many emperors, kings, presidents, whatever it is, they're going to realize that they have to make readjustments. They have to adapt to reality. That means that a lot of financial reports are going to be readjusted. Okay, we have Neptune, Venus. Neptune is very idealistic. But notice that Saturn is here, therefore there's going to be a reality check. Neptune also likes to hide things. Therefore, we could also see that politicians are going to try to hide something. So something along that line, and then Libra is about relationship, and then we have Neptune's. So in this case, we have a hidden agenda here. Okay, we could be also talking about that. And then Venus, Neptune in a negative way, we could say confusion related with the economy. We could say all this kind of stuff. Capricorn, house number 10, that represents the president of a nation. Aquarius, house number 11, that represents the objectives and missions of a nation, but also anything or anyone that works hand in hand, like the Congress or the Parliament. So we are going to start seeing a lot of readjustment, changes in structure. There's going to be a reality check that is going to affect the government and is closely related with finances. We have Saint Martin, the Squire of Swords, and the Eight of Cups upside down, and Saint Mary, the moon, looking into this direction. Notice that these two are upside down. This is letting us know of Job's performance that is mediocre, and she seems to be giving the green light. So in other words, she's like warning us, letting us know that the universe is allowing this readjustment. Okay, we have the rest of the reading. Once again, remember, this is a general reading. Okay, here we have the priestess, the high priestess, representing the first week of September 2015. And this is, we could say, the collective unconscious, or the collective conscious, whatever it is. The thing is that is letting us know that we have, humanity has reached the basement and is dark, and the boogeyman is there. It feels like fear, like there is this type of panic that is starting to set in. From a financial, economic perspective, it means that economists, banks, and anyone that works along that line, they're going to start sending messages that have a hue or a tinge of fear, panic, or pessimism. Anything along that line. Okay? Socially, it means that the first week of September, the civilians are going to be kind of afraid. There's fear of the unknown. Okay? That's what we are talking about. By the second week, we have fear, a collapse, something that shakes, trembles, like a candle, flickering candle. This could mean that financially, economically, we can be talking about Wall Street. We could be talking about any exchange market. we are going to start seeing shock waves. That's what we're talking about, shock waves, that they're going to shake the economy of many countries, if not the whole world. That's the kind of message that this is sending to us. So we have to pay very, very close attention how everything manifests, what is going to collapse. We have to keep paying attention to the European Union, like Greece, Cyprus, Spain, Italy, to mention just a few, and Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico might have a great impact in United States economy. So we really need to pay close attention. We're talking about shockwaves. We're talking about ripples, a ripple effect that might shake financially and economically many countries. We have here the third week, and this is the Five of Pentacles, Cups, and this is the loss of something. What is going to be lost? What is the loss? We don't know, but people are crying because of the loss. Considering how things are moving, they might be crying the loss of something, but it's all about crying the loss of something. It could be someone very important that dies or is killed. Could be any of that. Financially, economically, it could mean the loss of the economy, meaning more austerity, more cuts. Okay. The last week of September 2015 is all about gift. Sorry. So what we have here is it could be the IMF or Troika or whatever it is. There's going to be an intervention. It could mean that governments start pumping money to the economy when they start seeing all this dynamic that is going to unravel during the month of September. And they're going to start pumping money, or they might give money away to these countries that are performing on the weak side, the bad side, whichever you want to call it. There's an intervention, there's a gift, there's money involved here. Now, when we put together horizontal and vertical line, this is what we have. We have here the tower, and this is letting us know that there's going to be some kind of intervention that is going to bring down something. It's going to bring the collapse, or whichever word you want to use. If you want to sound more dramatic or less dramatic, pick your word. But that's the kind of dynamic that you're going to start seeing. This could mean that a country gets into more debt, bringing them down to the knees and shaking the whole economy of the country and creating ripples around the world. Or it could mean that they are given as a gift the independence, if we could call it like that, a break-off, which creates ripples again. That's the kind of dynamic that we're going to start seeing. On a vertical line, the High Priestess and the Five of Cups is letting us know that there is a fear that is taking over about losing something. And now we can understand why there is this fear, and they're crying, because it means that they're losing what they mostly appreciated in the past. It's going to be a change, a very hard adjustment. Okay, that's what we're talking about. The existential vortex, as I call it, it creates all this dynamic. It's creating some state of paranoia. States, countries are going to be in a defensive mode. paranoia. They're going to start searching, scrambling for help, trying to make something about it. This is going to push them into creating more fiscal and monetary policies. There's going to be a lot of adjustments on that aspect. This could create currency wars. Okay? Because indirectly it's going to create currency wars because each country is going to try to defend their economy. Okay? And that's the kind of dynamic that we are talking about. Okay, we have the rest of the reading here. We have the High Priestess next to the Ace of Wands, and this is letting us know that things are going to get stuck. Nothing is going to grow. So we're talking about here about a very poor performance, a very poor financial performance. How it's sounding like, this sounds like another recession is going to set in anytime soon. Okay, and September probably, if it doesn't happen on that month, is highly probable is going to be a landmark of what is coming. Okay, we're talking about major readjustments here, and the economy seems like it's not going to do very well during September 2014. There's no growth. We have here the Devil right next to the Five of Cups, and they lost something. They're crying. Why they're crying because they probably lost a lot of civil rights, social contracts. That means that there's going to be a lot of cuts, more cuts to come, austerity. Okay, and people are going to feel that they are being chained. They might be losing civil rights. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Now we have here the trilogy, as I like to call it. And the trilogy, we have the Six of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Six of Coins. We're talking about here of independence, breaking off from something. And this is very important because this is hinting us that this gift might be closely related with independence. And this is very important because this could mean that the European Union, one country, one state, is going to break off from the European Union. If it doesn't happen in September, just put the mark, is going to happen. If Greece decides to default, this is what is going to happen. So we really need to figure out what is going to happen. But this is the energy that we're seeing here. It could mean also a surprise for every one of us. It could be that one country decides to break off from the European Union, and then the collapse start happening, the disintegration of the European Union, and we're going to start seeing the repercussions financially, economically around the world about this. Puerto Rico. At this point, we already know that this is getting really bad, out of shape. There's a big fear of defaulting. And financially, Puerto Rico is bankrupt. Now, we're talking about independence because here there are people that are depending on someone else's charity, if we can call it like that. And this is a break-off. Independence. And then independence gift. What this means? Could it mean that United States also gets hit so bad that it starts considering, the Congress starts considering to give you Puerto Rico the Republic? That's a good option if we analyze the cards like that. It could mean also that the people of Puerto Rico are realizing that United States is not as in good shape as they thought, and they might be claiming for independence, break off. It could be either way, but the interpretation is there. That's the tarot cards, okay? The wave might start in September, but the energy is out there. How long it's going to last? It all depends of the intervention that governments are going to make. Okay, that's what we're going to start seeing for September 2015.